And welcome back, All Sports West New York. Steve Manson, my guest in studio, the hockey man, the publisher of West New York Hockey Magazine, which the new issue just came out, which we'll talk about in the next segment, because it's something near and dear to my heart. But you saw Jerry Sullivan at the top of the show with Bucky, and Jerry really went off on the Sabres' acquisition of Evander Kane. Your opinion?
Well, I have a lot of respect for Jerry. I've known him for many years, but he's totally wrong here. I mean, this guy is so bad that 17, 18 teams tried to trade for him. I mean, he's a young kid. He was in the National Hockey League at 18, and it seems like he's been around forever. He's still just, 22, 23 years old, going to be 24 next year, I think. He had some growing up to do, but, all these little things that say he was such he was late for meetings, and he wore a tracksuit one time rather than a suit and tie, and he had some pictures taken when he was in Vegas with money. He was doing push-ups with money on his back. These are all just juvenile stuff that you got to learn. You got to, get over. I'm very excited about him, and I think he's exactly what the Sabres need next year. And when you think about it, the three best players that are going to be on the front line for the Sabres next year are going to be Evander Kane, who's not here yet. It's going to be Sam Reinhart, who's just setting the Western Hockey League on fire, and probably your #1 draft choice. And these are three guys that aren't even on the team yet, and these are going to be your three best forwards next year. I'm excited about it.
Why would Winnipeg trade him away?
I think first of all, they got a heck of a package. I mean, Myers and Stafford and Armida, and I really hated to lose Lemieux. I've seen him play a number of times for Barrie in the OHL. And a first-round pick. I mean, that's a heck of a package. And I also want to point out, we always talk about Evander Kane. Eric Bogosian, I think, is a very, very good defenseman we got from Winnipeg.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, I think they were having problems possibly signing him long-term. He got included in the deal. I think this is going to be a great deal for Buffalo.
All right, now the team played very well against Nashville Sunday night, which is in the standings the top team in the NHL.
I want to caution you right away. Neuwirth played very, very well against Nashville Sunday night. I mean, without him in net the way he played, they would have lost 7-1.
You've been hanging around Art Wander.
Yes, I have.
Do you think you could interrupt me mid-question?
Well, I just thought I'd get right out of there.
I've lost control. So they play well against Nashville.
Yep.
And they lose. Okay, so the goalie plays tough, and they only score 1 goal, but they lose 2-1. So this team has moments. Certainly not enough. They're still dead last. And I have to tell you, and I like, Howard Simon. I like Howard Simon. Every morning on WGR, it just kills me when they do an update on the standings, a reverse update, hoping that they finish dead last. I wrote an article today on my excellent website, All Sports Western New York, about I just can't. I'm old school. I cannot cheer for this team to lose.
No, and I can't either. And if you've seen me on this broadcast or on the radio or whatever, I've been totally against this tanking thing right from the start. Yeah, it looks like it's going to work out for them, but we've just lost an entire season of excitement and fun, whatever you want to call it, and the kids learning how to win. We've got a lot of kids on this team that have now learned losing's okay, and it just really aggravates me to hear that in the morning show and hear it elsewhere, and I'm at the rink and some people are rooting for them to lose. I mean, I just cannot bring myself to do that, but unfortunately we're here in March. That's where they are. That's where they're going to finish.
And it's really it's a race to the end to finish last. And if you finish last, it's not a guarantee that you're going to get Connor McDavid.
No,
in fact, the odds are against that.
Against it.
But the odds are that you have to get the second pick.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, Jack Eichel is no consolation prize. This is one heck of a hockey player. He just was a star over the weekend in the very prestigious Beanpot tournament in Boston. He's one of the top scorers in the NCAA this year. He's got size, he's got speed, he's got talent.
But he's not Connor McDavid.
Some scouts say he is.
You think so?
Some
he didn't play in the World Juniors as well as Connor.
No, he didn't. But he also didn't have the cast that Connor McDavid. And don't get me wrong, I'm not picking on. I've seen McDavid play many, many times down in Erie, on TV and in person, and he is talented. Oh my! I mean, he had a 5-point night on Sunday.
So you feel comfortable that even if it's Jack Eichel, he's going to help this team?
Oh, he's definitely going to help this team, and it's out of the Sabres' hands. Once the ping pong balls go, okay, they only have a 1 in 5 chance, which we've talked about many times. They only have a 1 in 5 chance. Fortunately, there's another player, because they can only drop one spot if they finish 30th. Fortunately, there's another player that, certainly will soothe their wounds.
And I think it was Rob Ray about a week or so ago was on the air, was cautioning that, look, this is no sure thing for the Sabres to finish last. Some of these teams, Arizona in particular, they're going to dump everybody to try to get that #1 pick.
Yeah, but I still think the Sabres are going to trade a few more players. And also, there's another thing. When you get rid of, let's say they trade Chris Stewart, let's say they trade this guy or that guy come next Monday, you're going to bring kids up to replace them. Well, in my opinion, Mark Pysyk should have been here all year long.
Yeah.
They left him down in Rochester for a couple of reasons. One, to give him more seasoning, and two, they needed to get to the salary cap numbers, so that's why they got Mazzaros and Benoit. And Pysyk should have been here. He's going to be here next week, and he's here now, but I mean, he's going to be for the rest of the season. You're going to see some other kids come up too. And when that happens, it's strange that some of these kids really, they think that this is their tryout.
A little cautionary tale. The Edmonton Oilers haven't been in the playoffs for 9 seasons. And from 2010 to 2012, they had they had 3 #1 picks. For 3 consecutive years, they had the #1 pick in the draft. They're battling Buffalo for the last spot.
Absolutely.
Again.
That's when we first started talking about the tanking. They're the first team that you bring up. They not only for the last 3 or 4 years, but for a decade they've been drafting in the top 5.
Right.
And where are they? And every year there's all these rumors they're going to trade Taylor Hall or they're going to trade this other guy or that guy. And on WGR radio, 4 years ago I think it was, all season long they kept saying the Sabres should tank for Niles Yakupov. Niles Yakupov's going to be the great next player in the whole bit. Who gets him? Edmonton? Niles Yakupov. They can't even trade him. They've been trying to trade him all year long. Okay?
Sit right there.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a break. More with the hockey man, Steve Manson, right after this.